Welcome to Wiretapped Truths. My name is Jesse Perez. I'm joined by Mr. Leland here, Mr. Wiretapped Truths Leland. Our resident comedian Jack Simmons got called into work, but he sends his regards. Is regards the right word to use? He sends,
Yeah.
I
Or I
feel like
guess
I'm
his
saying
presence. He sends his
condolences.
presence, and not.
He sends his hi. But today we got Mr. Cyrus Farmer, who played Devar, Mike's stepdad. So Cyrus, I heard that they flew you out to LA just so they could make a mask of you on the dummy they used. Is that true?
That's not quite accurate, actually.
Okay. I was
Interesting, interesting story. I had happened. I lived in New York while we were doing The Wire, and I had been out in Los Angeles. I was doing a project for HBO. Jake Scott, who is, I think, either Ridley or Tony Scott's son. I forget which one. He was doing a project that was kind of this promotional thing that we were shooting and rehearsing over almost 3 weeks out there. And I had been in the middle of my arc on The Wire. And when they found out I was doing this project out in Los Angeles, they had me go by a studio out there to get the mask done. So it was ready. We almost got back to New York. We got back to New York about within a week of each other. Of course, the mask went to Baltimore. I went to New York, and then was shortly back down in Baltimore for the scene.
Got you. So you did have the mask done out there. They just didn't fly you out. You were there, right?
I did correct. Correct. Yes.
Got you.
The accommodations weren't quite right, Jesse.
Yeah. But I get a lot of my information. I gotta shout this guy out at Ziggy_Duck Kurt. Who runs the Wire fan. This guy, if his fan page, he just like hits you with like, Easter egg after Easter egg, which is like, which is crazy, And
that's awesome. I gotta check him out.
Yeah.
Sounds
and Jesse, I don't know the percentage, like if we could weight it, like in terms of how responsible he is for continuing the Wire legacy, but it's a percentage somewhere. Kurt he's responsible somewhere over these last, 10, 15 years, however long he's been running that page. Because I mean, it's something. Nobody knows who he is or what he looked like. A lot of people don't know who he is, kind of thing. But he's probably the biggest Wire fan on this planet. I thought it was me, to be honest. But it's probably Kurt. Like, he's phenomenal. Shout out Kurt, man. We love you, bro.
Maybe he's the guy who invented Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And you know what, Cyrus? Wouldn't surprise me either. That's how secretive Kurt is. He's like an enigma.
I actually do know Kurt. He wrote because he goes to see you guys at plays and follows like the guy. Right. So he wrote on Twitter one day, I'm going to New York to see Andre Royo's one man play. I got an extra ticket. And I said, hey, I live in New York. He's like, come on. So he bought me a burger at a diner. We saw Andre Royo's one man play. And he had the red hat, the red hat that Bubbles used to mark people with. Sure. He had that. So after the play, the stage manager comes up to us and goes, Andre Royo says for you two to wait for him afterwards. He wants to talk to you guys. So I have a picture with Bubbles in the red hat.
That's awesome. Andre is a great guy. I've known him for years. Fantastic guy.
Yeah, we've talked to him a few times actually. He's solid, man.
So Cyrus,
he's a very good friend of my brother's. Actually, I met Andre through my brother, who runs a couple of restaurants in New York, and he's just the best. He's the best in the world.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's supposed to be coming on the show as soon as his schedule frees up. So let's get into your character because I actually got the idea to contact you because we were talking about the most satisfying deaths. And I said, and Leland said cheese. And then I like thought about it and I said, Mike's stepdad, right? It has to be the most satisfying, right? No offense, but
I'm taking.
Were you hesitant on taking the role? I think Wire fans are mature enough to know that you're just acting. But I got to think of taking the role of like a pedophilia type actor, that's got to be a little like you have a decision to make, right?
Sure. I mean, for me, it was very, very easy simply because I'd known David Simon through a couple of different projects and had always trusted his ability to tell stories and his writing ability specifically. So when we had the opportunity to play Bug's father, Michael's stepdad, there was literally no hesitation whatsoever, regardless of the implications behind the role.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, yeah, that's and I think you do a great job. We actually, I actually Mike's stepmom, Mike's mom actually just reached out to me on Instagram today. I wrote her, so she should be coming on in the next few weeks. You know how?
Hey, news to the show, then, Jesse.
Yeah.
Wow,
she's a wonderful woman. She was great.
So how was it working?
That's Tristan's real mother.
Tristan's real mom on the show.
Exactly. She was great. I met her on set. She was great.
Yeah.
Wait, Cyrus, are you asking if the mom on The Wire is Tristan's real mother? Or are you saying
No, I was asking if the person who reached out to Jesse is Tristan's real life mother.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. The actress.
Got it. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Now, that would be cool, Jesse. You got Tristan.
Yeah, now you just gave me an idea too. Now you just gave me a good idea who to reach out to next. Yeah.
Yeah, the actor was wonderful too. She was great.
And Cyrus, we're trying to, reach out to everybody in season 4. We're on season 2 right now. So we're kind of, Jesse does the behind the scene work of reaching out to you. I don't know. I can't even tell how many people he's reached out to try to come on. I don't even know the number, but we know that Tristan, just from talking to other people, he has his own, he's in a whole nother world, right now. So maybe God willing, at some point in time, maybe we can get him on, but we understand he's got a lot other stuff going on that he's tapped into, as well as being a super devoted 100% father kind of thing. Is certain cast members say they haven't talked to him in a long time, so we won't get our hopes.
Well, they said it on the show, so we could say it here. Yeah, Maestro kind of hinted at the fact that out of the kids, him, Jermaine, and Julito are the 3 that always do the Wire appearances and stuff, and Tristan's more hesitant to do those. So I would still reach out to him,
for sure.
Tristan has always been very talented. So anything he chooses to do, I'm sure he's going to succeed in.
Yeah,
he's somebody. I think at some point, he will come back to the Wire fandom, but it's probably a little bit to deal with, especially at the age he achieved it.
Yeah, and he's a father now of little kids too, So it's kind of okay. Moving forward is focus versus looking back and reverting back to when I 20 years ago kind of thing. So I get it kind of thing. Yep. For him, it's looking forward versus looking backwards kind of thing.
So how was it working with Tristan?
Tristan was great. It's funny. I remember starting that arc. I think we only did 3 episodes with that character, but
I think it was 4.
It might have been.
I think it was 4.
3 or 4, one of the 2. Somewhere.
At least on IMDb, it says 4. So maybe they're including your dead body, maybe.
Well, I think they probably included. There were some autopsy photos subsequent in a following episode, so that's why they make it 4. I think. But all the kids, getting a chance to meet them on set, going into that character arc. Were phenomenal. They were all very focused, all very free, all very natural, and all very talented. But one of the things that you knew right away about Tristan is that he seemed really locked in on his character, which is always great when you have to play a scene with other actors, that they have such a firm grasp on who they're portraying. And he was an absolute joy to work with. Yeah.
And you never know, right? Because I thought when 90210 got announced, I was like, this guy's about to hit stardom, right? Because I grew up on Beverly Hills 90210, right? Yeah. So I was this guy, that show's going to take off, But The Wire actually ended up being the bigger show, right? So it's you never really know when you choose projects, right? I would think.
Yeah, I think that's true. I mean, the funny thing is, funny you mentioned 90210 because I remember when Tristan got that role, and it was literally a layup as far as I was concerned. I mean, I thought the same thing you did, Jesse. I thought it was going to be literally. He was going to be the next Michael B. Jordan, as it turned out.
Yeah.
You know, I really thought that he was going to be the first one of the kids to really ascend. And for whatever reason, that show just never really caught on. It's funny with entertainment, whether it's film or television, there's such an alchemy involved. You can have a fantastic script on the page, and then what ends up getting shot doesn't live up to that, or you can have some very seemingly mediocre material on the page that for whatever reason really touches a nerve with the public. So there's an alchemy involved that goes beyond actual shooting and actual writing that really helps kind of make most things that are successful touch a nerve with the public.
Yeah, you know, because I was watching I watch different podcasts and stuff. I'm a big TV guy, as you'll get to know now. So I was like, I'm gonna so I watched the AJ Soprano and Meadow that they had their own podcast from the Sopranos.
I heard they had one. How was it?
Yeah, it's pretty good, you know.
Good.
But one of the things I found interesting too was you know, AJ tells the story of the pilot episode, and he goes, Tony Sirico, who played Paulie, kind of told him hey kid, you know, don't get your hopes up. These things, we shoot these things all the time. You know.
Sure.
Oh, as a matter of fact, Julito mentioned one that I looked up too, and I mean, the cast list was incredible. It was called The Brick. That was, I don't know if you heard about this. The Mike Tyson early days. Spike Lee was attached to it. There's some big name actors that I'm forgetting right now, but
it sounded phenomenal.
Yeah, the cast list was and HBO passed on it, and it was it was
what? It was supposed to be can't miss. Yeah.
Right. Well, so. Have you ever been a part of pilots that been passed on?
Absolutely. It's funny you mentioned Spike. I did a pilot with Spike a few years ago. This is right around, I think it was just after The Wire. It was called Mayor of New York. And it was, I think Bobby Cannavale was in that show, a couple of other people. It was, again, another can't miss. And for whatever reason, it never even aired. Network passed on it.
What was the plot, Cyrus? Mayor of New York, what is that? What was it?
It was literally about, I think Bobby Cannavale was playing a newly elected mayor or something like that. And I was the husband of, I think, his chief of staff. I can't remember the actress who was playing that role. It was someone, it wasn't a Sanaa Lathan, but it was someone like Sanaa Lathan. And we shot the pilot. Spike was great. Everything looked fantastic, but for whatever reason, the network decided to pass on it.
That's interesting. And just speaking of just politics, there have been, and Jesse, I don't know if you've seen it, but online, there have been many memes and stuff like that calling for Tristan. Why is Tristan Wiles not part of the Power universe? Kind of thing. A lot of people
that is a
feel
great question. Yeah.
I feel like as an avid Power, Jesse don't really like Power like that. He's not a huge fan, but
I like the original Power a lot.
Right? Sure. Yeah, I'm tapped into all of it. I've seen every episode.
All the offshoots, sure.
Yeah, but he would be a quick because they've got new shows rolling out that are prequels that go back before Ghost and Tommy. That are coming out soon. Then they have shows that's continuing the story. There's definitely a role for him somewhere, and it's somebody who captivates on screen. I don't know, and maybe they've reached out to him. Maybe he's turned it down. Maybe he hasn't thought about it. I don't know, but there's definitely, I feel like, a role for him somewhere in the Power universe. I feel
Tristan would be a layup in the Power universe.
Yeah, that's why when you said that just now, that's made me think
it would be an unbelievable marriage. I can't believe 50 hasn't reached out to him already. If he has, that would be too bad if Tristan turned it down. But I think it would be such a layup. He would be a character. They could craft a character around his ability that would be very compelling, I think, especially with power.
How would you like to be a part of the Power universe?
Power is great. I think they do. One of the things that I like about Power and all of their offshoots is their storytelling is relatively authentic as far as I'm concerned. And it kind of puts you in a world. It's not quite The Wire. In some ways, The Wire is a little more poetic, in my opinion. But it still has that same authenticity of people you don't see every day as you move through the world in their lives and their universe. So I'm a big fan of everything they do. All the offshoots, even, I think, in their own way, have told great stories. So congrats to them. I'm a big fan of everything they do.
You know what, Cyrus? That's a great way to look at it. Because as somebody that is, The Wire is my favorite show and will always be my favorite show. It's never going to change. I don't care what anything that comes out. Nothing will ever change my opinion about The Wire being the best show ever. But as somebody that is an avid Power fan, to see what 50 Cent has crafted and the fact that it's, as of now, 6 total shows from one show, like it, to me, that is something that we don't talk about enough. And you're right. The storytelling, while it might be dramatized or, it's for entertainment, all of the stories are their own. Like, it is authentic storytelling from their writer's room. They take a few elements from The Wire here and there, like a few, but it's not a lot. A lot of it is pretty much authentic stories from their writers. It's something to be marveled at. And in 10 or 15 years, when the Power universe is over with and it's 6, 7, 8 shows, who knows? We're going to look back and be like, damn, that was something phenomenal that they crafted. It's like Marvel almost. It's something remarkable that he's done. And we don't really talk about it enough in terms of the magnitude of what it takes to craft 4 or 5 seasons of multiple shows under one umbrella. Like, it's phenomenal.
I was just about to make that comparison. I mean, what they have been able to create is their own universe. It's very, very comparable to what Marvel's done on the big screen. And what so many viewers, I'm not saying you, but so many viewers, in my opinion, take for granted is every single episode and every single show and every single season, that all gets created out of whole cloth. So the writers have done an amazing job of not only with the original Power, but crafting all of these offshoots, giving them their own separate worlds and their separate universes, and doing it in a way that makes each show their own. So unbelievable job. And I think you're 1,000% right. 10, 15, 20 years from now, people are going to look back at what was accomplished and the content that was provided by the Power universe and marvel at it. I think you're 1,000% right.
And what kind of gets me too, just being such a big Wire fan in terms of the praise that maybe wasn't allotted when the show was out. Same with Power. Power has won. I think I can count on one hand how many awards. How many shows has it been? 4 shows. I think it's 2 awards in 12 years. I think, kind of thing. So it's from that perspective of The Wire and Power not really getting their just due in terms of awarding. As an avid fan, I can appreciate the art for sure.
And that Power fan base is as big as any in television.
It's more rabid than the Wire fan base because it's bigger. It's a bigger fan base. They get, oh my God, it's serious. The Power fan base is serious. It's serious.
The depth and breadth of that fan base is pretty hard to really put an accurate number on. It is huge.
It's huge, man. It's unbelible. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
Shout out to 50 Cent and Courtney Kemp, the writer of that show.
50 Cent and Courtney Kemp, exactly.
Sorry, so let's get into the Devar character, because the name is Devar, right? I was watching season 5, episode 7 the other day, and I thought you were just Bug's stepdad. I didn't think you actually had a name. I think that's the only time they mention your name. Am I wrong?
It's once.
Correct. And literally, when we got the part, literally it was listed as Bug's stepfather. And so when I heard the name, I was surprised.
And now you're listed on IMDb actually as the name next to it, because I went back and looked at the IMDb, and then your name's next to it. So Devar, right? So I read an interesting theory, so I just want to get your take.
Sure.
Why does Chris ask you, did you have sex in prison? What and when you kind of agree to saying yes, not you, the character, the character. Why does that give Chris? Yes, he did it after you say, yeah, you had sex in prison.
The way I always interpreted that exchange of dialogue was that Chris was looking for a confession. So much like when you're involved with law enforcement, they may have evidence on you, they may have fingerprints, but nothing actually tops a person who they suspect of a crime admitting to the crime. So when Chris asked me about sex in prison, I think that was his version of getting a confession out of my character so he could proceed to mete out the justice that they ended up giving.
Yeah, you know what? Another kind of underlying thing with this, I don't know if you can speak to this, because they don't really touch on it. It's solely from one little look that Chris gives. It's alluded to that Chris was assaulted in that way too as a kid, kind of thing. We don't talk about it on camera, but it's kind of like when he looks at Michael, or when Michael asks him about it, and he kind of looks at you, kind of before they even get to where you're at. It's kind of like Chris thinking like, okay, yeah, I can do this for him, kind of thing. Like, they don't talk about it in the show. It's one of those kind of untalked about theories, but that would make sense as to why he just lost it, kind of thing. And
Bingo was great in that scene with Tristan. He's playing so much subtext. None of this is written on the page, but you can completely understand where he's coming from as a character when you watch. Bingo was fantastic in that.
Mm-hmm.
I told Leland and Jack, I think The Wire, as far as actors, you guys could tell like a story with your face, which was so amazing.
Yeah, I was literally just about to say that, bro.
There's a scene with J.D. Williams, who plays Bodie, where he goes, where Cuddy says, I used to spar with your older brother James, and you see like a slight smile on Bodie's face. Yeah. And then just disappear like this, where for a split second he got happy, and I
remembered his brother.
I was like, wow, like that's like perfection acting, in my opinion.
And you know what, Jesse, I'm speaking to that because when your character comes back, Cyrus, and he's back in the house, and Michael is back at school, that little interaction with Perez shows Tristan's range of emotions. Like it's like Perez sees him sitting in the corner and he's soaking. He's like, you're not doing nothing. He's just soaking. Then Perez tells him to come up, and he's kind of reserved. He's like, yeah, no, I'm good. And then Perez like, well, you can talk to somebody if you need. He's like, I said no. Like I said, I'm good. Like it just shows that wide range of emotions. And Tristan's face is like, it goes from somber, and when he gets firm, he's like, I said no. Like you can see it on his face. Like he turns up his emotions. Like, Perez, leave me the fuck alone, man. I'm fine.
Yep. I think a lot of that was due, honestly, as is often the case, not always, but I think a lot of that was due to the tremendous directors that were on set throughout the course of the series. In some ways, there are some television shows that end up creating their own style of storytelling. And I think that was the case with David Simon. I think that was the case with The Wire. And through that kind of metric, they end up shaping and crafting acting choices, these directors, in a way that fits with the overall theme and the idea and vision of the writers and creators. And the directors have all done a wonderful job of not only using very talented actors in a number of different roles, and talented non-actors to kind of craft this world and this style of acting that was evident in The Wire. And I think that's partially the reason it was so well received by the fan base. It was a style of acting you didn't really see before.
Yeah.
Wow.
So actually back to the question, so I saw this on another Wire YouTube video, the theory of Chris asking you, "Did you have sex in prison?" And I was like, I was blown away. You know, Wire fans like kind of. So the theory behind it is when you said yes, the confirmation was because if you have no self-control in prison, then you can't have self-control at the house. So that was the confession that Chris was looking for, and I was like, "Wow!" I was like, "Because I never
valid though. I mean,
well, it's funny because when we do that scene, I'm dead either way. My character, because
right.
I don't want to say yes,
right?
But I know for a fact that if I don't say yes, it's gonna be I got no shot. he's gonna do what he's gonna do anyway, but it might be worth somehow. But my character really has to think for a minute before answering yes, even though the answer comes relatively quickly.
That's true.
Because you're in a box. If you're Devar, you're in a box because there's no real way out once Chris and Snoop roll up on him and start walking him. He
wasn't gonna get away.
Yeah, but it's a rap either way. You're just hoping for a little bit of mercy. And
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I
was just going to say. I think the reason why Devar says yes is hoping for maybe a quicker dispatch than what actually ended up happening.
That's interesting. Wow.
That was always my thought.
I do wonder though. Now that you mentioned that's actually yes. That's thank you for saying that. That's actually very good thinking. I was like, yeah, I get that. I do wonder though, if you say no, is there any situation where you get killed in the vacants instead of the beatdown that you got?
Yeah, I think that's the reason Devar says yes. He's hoping for that. Because at this point, there's no way out for him. But if he says no, I honestly think in Devar's mind, he's going to get the beating that he gets anyway. And I think that's what he was trying to avoid. Now, I don't know that Devar thought he was going to get beat to death, but he knew there was going to be a torture element once he got to that point. And what he's trying to do by saying yes instead of no is let me copy this and see if this gets me a little bit of mercy.
And man, that beatdown was... Oh my God! So Miss Debbie Young told us that they had to get a dummy so Chris just let go like he like when you saw that. I don't know if you were on set when you saw it. Were you like, whoa?
I was. You know, it was that when we shot that scene, it was a really cold night, and we had a lot of hand warmers and layers, and you know, you do what you can, obviously. But the only thing I remember thinking while I was watching Binga carry out the rest of the beating on the dummy is he's probably going to have to take his jacket off. He was pretty wound up. It was a lot of work. He really put some work in on that dummy. And just watching it, it was actually impressive. I was fascinated that he was able to get to this place as an actor to finish the job when he's actually not working with a live human being. It was very impressive.
It's one of the most gruesome fight scenes that I've seen in a movie or in film. Like he literally.
Oh, that was not a fight. That was
like kill scene, man. If you want to say that,
I'm joking.
Like, he literally beat him to death. Like, literally beat him to death. Like, that's something you don't really see on TV or in movies. You see a weapon of some sort or something. Like, but to get beat to death with somebody's bare hands, like, it's really gruesome. And then to spit on the end, to spit on somebody is. That's just the ultimate sign of disrespect.
And Lila, just to add to that point, we talked about how impressive it was to me to watch Binga get to that place. That is literally just as a character. Forget being an actor. As a character, to get to the point to where you're going to kill someone with your bare hands, stomping, doing whatever it takes, and essentially know they're dead by the time
you finish.
That's not easy to calibrate at all.
And so I'm just touching, going back to the Power universe, just as much as I've watched Power. Like I said, I've seen every episode of Power, all of the series, all of them. Tommy is one of the most ruthless characters ever in TV history, and one of the fan favorites. He's got, I don't know, I think I saw somewhere online 80 bodies on him in the whole series, something crazy like that. Yeah. There's only one scene of him killing somebody with his bare hands when he chokes Holly. And that scene right there, if you're watching it on screen, it's like, oh shit, like kind of thing. Wow. So just comparing the two, somebody dying at the cause of somebody else's bare hands is gruesome.
Yeah, it's true. That's probably my favorite Power episode, actually.
It's a tough one. Because it doesn't happen every day. It doesn't happen. It's very rare on film or television to see that kind of homicide.
The creator, Courtney, she said, because fans hated the character, but the cast loved the actress. Like, she's a cast favorite. They loved her. So they said everybody was crying that night, like when it was time for her to go. Like, that's how much they loved her as a person, not necessarily the character. But that's a tough scene. The Chris scene with you is a tough scene. Just somebody dying at the cause of somebody's bare hands is like,
because it doesn't happen.
It's crazy.
Because it doesn't happen quickly.
Yeah,
it takes a lot to kill someone with your bare hands.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
And that's part of I think what makes it so visceral, because it's not snapping someone's neck.
Right. And you know what? Dang, you just said that. In that same season, Milan does kill somebody with his bare hands, but he chokes him first. He chokes him with a tool. He's got a thing. Yep. That's right. He's got like a string or something, and then he snaps his neck. So that's not even the same.
Not the same. I mean, it counts for the character he killed, but
Dang, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. So Cyrus, you also worked on The Corner, which we didn't watch yet. But I mean, I watched it once in rehab. I don't really remember that much of it. I remember the ending. The lady gets clean, she's in rehab. And you are in Oz, which were like a show that I binged when it first came out. Can you tell us your characters on those shows? Who you played in?
In The Corner, I played, I think his name was Stevie, right? Who was Fran's brother, Andy Alexander's brother, who's an addict. And she kind of looked after him throughout the show. I think I was in 4 of the 6 episodes, something like that. And in Oz, I played, I believe, Officer Johnson. I think that was his name. And he ended up, he was a CO. I think we were in the last 2.5 seasons of Oz. And his big claim to fame is that he was doing the bidding for the governor that ended up ending the series.
Wow.
I don't remember all the details, but a lot of people talk to me about C.O. Johnson quite a bit because he ended up having this crucial role in the end of the storytelling of the series. So he was dirty, obviously.
Wow.
Okay. And also Avon Barksdale was a CO.
Yeah. Actually, when I went up for The Wire originally, I originally went in for Avon.
Really? Wow.
I did. It was me, Wood, and I think 2 other actors that they ended up picking from. And obviously Wood did a great job with the character. But I remember very vividly really looking forward to the opportunity to playing Avon Barksdale. And Wood did a tremendous job in the role. But like so many other actors, you end up auditioning for several roles, depending on the project, if it runs long enough.
Right.
Do you know how many different characters you auditioned for on The Wire?
I only auditioned for a few. I was up for Avon. I auditioned for that. I auditioned the other role that I went in for that was very close as well was Cuddy. Exactly. So I I always thought, Chad does a great job with that role also. And I'm a big Chad. But to me, the character was always, it wasn't as defined as I wanted it to be. So it's not like
speak on that, Cyrus. That's interesting. What do you mean?
To me, the character, and I'd love to hear Chad's thoughts on this. I mean, the character kind of had a foot in both worlds, but to me, it wasn't really defined one way or another. He wasn't, truly altruistic, in my opinion, even though he was trying to help everyone in the neighborhood. But by the same token, it seemed like he had a little bit foot in the other camp as well. This is just my sense of the character. And I never felt it was really defined enough for what actually ended up on screen. I would have liked to see the character a little more one way or the other, as far as being in one camp like Prop Joe or in the other camp like Bunny Colvin. To me, he was kind of a tweener character. And again, I think Chad did a great job in the role, and it's not like I turned it down. He actually won the role. I always thought that character was a little underdeveloped, in my opinion. Every time you saw him on screen, every time you saw Cuddy on screen, I kind of wondered who this guy was, as opposed to kind of getting into what he was doing.
Maybe that affected your audition a little too, that you couldn't get.
Yeah, and you know what, Cyrus? Jesse has touched on this a few times too. I don't know how much of we've had actors on that are like, I haven't even seen season 5 of The Wire. I don't know, you'll have to, walk me through what you're asking me or talking about. But in season 5, when Dookie goes to train with him, and Cuddy pretty much tells him well, shit, I don't got nothing for you. I'm sending you back. I'm sorry that you fought and you can't fight, but this is what it is, kind of thing. Jesse always looked at that little, that's terrible advice that you're giving him, kind of thing.
It's tough. It's tough. It's tough.
Why are you telling me, well, I can't really do nothing for you. I would have loved to have Mike here, and help him, but I can't really do nothing for you, kind of thing.
And Dookie needed someone to actually believe in him, whether they believed in him or not. He needed Cuddy's support, actually.
He did.
Yeah, it didn't, I think season 5 kind of, and it's hard to talk about the Bible of TV shows, but I think they did a couple of cameos just for the sake of doing cameos, but I still enjoyed the cameos, and I think Cuddy's loosely based on Calvin Ford, Javante Davis's trainer.
Sure.
But
I do think you're right though, Cyrus, because in season 4, when he goes after Mike, kind of thing, to go to talk to him on the block. Why are you going to talk to Mike at 11 o'clock at night?
Exactly.
On a drug block about what happened in your gym. I get it. They got into it in your gym. Okay, that's cool. But what are you doing coming down to this corner at 11, 12 o'clock at night to talk to him in front? He's got his whole front line here with him. What are you even? I never even thought about questioning Cuddy about this scene.
In the character, I get it. The character is showing he is of the neighborhood. Sure, fine, whatever, right? But by the same token, you bring up a great point, Leland. I mean, that's kind of the issue I had with his character. I think Chad can play anything you give him to play, which is great. But I would like to see the character be more developed. It seems like there were just some missing elements to his character that would have been more interesting to see if he'd been more fully rounded.
Yeah.
I've
never thought about that, Cyrus, being honest. I never thought about Cuddy's character almost I wouldn't even call it 1 foot in, 1 foot out, but just more so maybe being more grounded in what he was trying to do. Maybe. I don't know. That's
maybe a little undefined. Maybe a little undefined is a better way to put it.
That's a great man. That's interesting.
My favorite Cuddy moment is when he tells Avon, "You're not hearing me. I'm not made for this no more." And then he leaves. Oh, just 3 great actors, man.
They kill it.
Slim Charles.
He's and what did Woodhair say? He said he's a man today. I love that scene. What's crazy about that, Jesse? When we left yesterday, because we went to a kid's birthday party with my daughter, I left the TV on by accident. I was watching season 2. I got home. And season 3 was playing, and that's exactly what I walked into, Jesse. It was that episode yesterday when I got home. It was that scene playing, and they were talking. when I got home. I was like, dang, I left the TV on. Damn, this is season 3. I did not mean to leave the show running for 7 hours while I was gone, but
well, hold on. I have to ask both of you a question.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned season 5, Jesse, and I think generally speaking, I think really the issue with season 5 is that they were trying to pursue a storyline that just didn't have the same gravity. I mean, when you're talking about politics and you're talking about the press, it's very, very hard to make that compelling when you have this world that you've set it up in. This world being Baltimore. But that aside, what do you guys feel like was the best single season?
Oh Lord, Cyrus, here we go.
Obviously, there are only 3 choices, obviously. And those choices are obviously the first
1, 3, and 4. Yeah, okay. I'm with you. Right? Those were the seasons you were going to say, right? 1, 3, and 4.
Correct. Those are the only. I think those are the only ones in the running.
Yeah, I always say season 4 because what those kids did were amazing. The storyline about those 4 kids and the school system and season 4, but there's something about season 3 with the fall of the Barksdale organization.
Oh my God! Chock full of action and storytelling.
Phenomenal. Love season 3, and I love season. I love it all as a fan, obviously.
Yeah, I love it all too. Yeah,
this is my thought.
Leland, if you had to pick one, which one would you pick?
I'll pick 4. 4 will be my answer.
You go 4. Season 3 or season 4? Season 4. It's season 4 because I think, and this is just because you're making me pick, Cyrus. I'm always one that makes it like to compare the 5 seasons is like comparing 5 different fruits because they are literally different themes to different characters. Like they're not the same by any means. So it's really hard to pick. I can pick a favorite kind of thing, but to say like, okay, this one is best. Only reason I say season 4 is because similar to season 2, it's something that was so different than season 1. So that they get a check for that. The fact that these 4 children were the storyline of the most critically acclaimed season of The Wire, that is like, okay, that's something different. The fact that who is the main character of every other season, which is McNulty, isn't in season 4 that much because I think he was shooting something else. That is something else that gives it a check in the box. And then the stuff with Marlo and Omar in season 4 that leads to season 5, and that's some of the highlights in season 5 is Omar and Marlo going after each other. For a lot of fans, some of their dialogue in season 4 with Omar and Marlo, just Omar in general, in season 4 was in a rare air, like it seems like in season 4. And in every single one of his scenes, it was, and even all of his scenes really are phenomenal. He's a phenomenal person, actor, but season 4, some of his stuff was just, I don't know how to really put my finger on it. I don't know what it is about season 4 that is just, if you're making me pick season 4, it would probably have to pick season 4, but I absolutely love season 3. Absolutely love season 1, and we actually did a tribute episode to season 2 because a lot of fans don't like season 2, trying to show and highlight the genius of it because we're avid Wire fans, kind of. We love season 2, but season 4 and season 3, it's something about those characters. It's something about some of the scenes in those 2 seasons that just stand out. Just I don't know what it is about those 2 seasons that are just, I don't know. It's just top tier.
I have to say, for me, I think season 2 is very underrated, but I understand why it got the backlash in real time that it got. Because you have this great template with season 1 that sets up an entire series. You don't know how many seasons it's going to go. You don't know how long it's going to last, but did you know you hadn't seen a story this focused on these type of characters before? And when season 2 comes out, it seems like such a U-turn. I mean, Lee, you make a great point. Season 2 is very different in the way that season 4 is very different.
Yep.
But it's different for a different reason. And I think a lot of Wire fans, and I've talked to a lot of Wire fans throughout the years, only remember how they felt when they were watching season 2 versus how they feel actually going back. They never looked at it. They thought they were going to wipe this show out with season 2 and make it something completely different. That was a real fear. So when season 3 comes along with the tremendous storytelling that it has, it literally snaps you right back into your love of the series. And season 2 kind of gets lost in the shuffle a little bit.
And you know what, too, Cyrus? Those are phenomenal points. There are people, and I've talked to them, that are like, I never got to finish The Wire because of season 2. Got season 2, and it was, it was so good, season 1, and then we get to season 2 with the docs, and I never even got to season 3. So the fact that people were so thrown off because of the switch, the U-turn, that they didn't even get to make it to season 4.
Yeah.
What is unbelievable. But I think just comparison, like you said, even though season 4 is so different, we ended season 3 closing so many doors, but we still had Marlo going into season 4. Opening the scene season 2, Minotti on the boat. Okay, it's like, all right, cool. All right, he's on the boat. All right. But then it's like, okay, who are these dock workers? What?
Yeah. You have no idea where it's going. Yeah.
But considering, and we had one of the writers on from season 2. We interviewed her, I think it was last week, 2 weeks ago. I don't even think it's been 2 weeks. I think it was last week.
Yeah, Joy Keston.
Joy Keston, yeah. And she just was mentioning just about some of the stuff that they had to go through. And I think it was more so David Simon and Ed Burns wanting to tell this story in season 2, because what they had to do to get approval to shoot on the docks, to shoot some of that stuff, it took a lot to get approved for them to even be able to tell the little bit of the story they were able to tell. So I think it was more so from David Simon and Ed Burns' perspective, like, I want to tell this story. It's a story that needs to be told, and we should be the ones to tell it, kind of thing. But for fans, a lot of fans, the fact that a lot of fans haven't seen season 3 or season 4 because they didn't like season 2, is ridiculous.
But season 2 holds up really well in historically. When you go back to it, season 2 holds up very well. But at the time, I remember there was a huge fear that this was going to completely change the direction of the show.
And I think for season 2, it's honestly, Cyrus, it is the foundation of the rest of the show in actuality. Because Stringer's actions in season 2 led to his death. Avon got out because of what happened in season 2. Like it's certain stuff.
All those seeds are planted in season 2.
In season 2, even down to season 5.
In 3 and 4, you're 1,000% right.
Yep. So it sucks for fans that have never seen season 3 and season 4. If any fan sees this that watches our podcast and is like, hey, damn, maybe they right. I do need to go watch season 3 and season 4. Yes, you should. Okay, like if you've never seen season 3 or season 4 of The Wire because you didn't like season 2, please go watch season 3 and season 4.
I would go further, Leland and Jesse. I would say literally anyone who watches the show, hopefully your show, your podcast can help this a little bit. But anyone who hasn't seen season 2, go back and look at it now.
Yeah. Because that's another thing. People did skip over season 2. People just
exactly. I know Jesse, great point. I know a lot of people who actually just stopped season 2, didn't even finish it, and then picked it back up on 3 and 4. You're 1,000% right. So please go back if you get a chance. Watch season 2. Leland, you made a great point. There are so many seeds that are planted that literally come to light in seasons 3, 4, and 5. It's really valuable to watch.
And sounds like you are
and some fantastic acting and directing.
It sounds like you're an avid Wire watcher. It sounds like so. Like from season 2, just talking about it slightly in today's age. There's a scene where Frank and the guys are in the meeting and they're talking about it's not AI, but they're talking about the machines helping their jobs and eliminating their jobs, so just referencing to today when a lot of people are like, man, what is this AI stuff? What's going on? Jobs are being depleted. People are getting fired behind it. Just that little nugget right there in terms of looking at technology eliminating jobs 23 years later. Like it's
excellent point. And no one was even thinking about AI back.
Not at all.
That I know of.
Maybe, not at all.
Maybe Simon and the writers were, but
yeah,
no one that I knew was thinking about that. And you're 1,000% right. That literally, when they're talking about walking them, bunking everyone through the how you track what goes on with the docs, you're 1,000% right. That's literally ahead of its time.
Yep. That's a phenomenal catch right there.
Cyrus, I want to give you a little shout out on your acting too, because when you said you big, but you ain't big enough. Oh man, you made my blood boil, man.
I heard that before. Yeah, a lot of people were not a fan of that.
But I mean that's credit to you though.
Thank you.
Yeah,
he was such an interesting character, kind of thing. Like, and it made Michael's blood boil to see him. Like, I mean, it was a side of Michael where the anger was just, you got to think too. If not for what Chris and Snoop did for Michael, who's to say Michael would have went to the Marlowe organization? If not for that favor, that favor in itself is kind of like, hey, we did this for you. Don't forget. Kind of thing, and it's interesting in itself. And the fact that the body is what got Chris jammed up is because they didn't put it in the vacants. It's interesting in itself too.
Well, I was gonna say,
yeah. Go ahead, Jesse.
No, I was gonna say that we had Michael Kevin Darnall who played Brendan in the first season.
Yeah,
and we told him, you only have 3 episodes, but you set up the Omar versus Barksdale storyline, right? It's the
Omar versus Marlowe
breaks. Omar versus Barksdale. Brendan.
Oh, you talking about Brendan?
Yeah. Michael Kevin Darnall. Yeah, and we said, you set up the Omar versus Barksdale whole storyline. It's and the way they tortured you is why Omar takes a few steps of like working with the police, testifying, like now it's an all-out war, so his character meant a lot to the story, as I think your character is the one that got Chris and Snoop jammed up, and without you, they don't get Chris's DNA, so your character, without you, we don't get the backstory to Michael, so your character means a lot, to the story.
Jesse, I think you make an excellent comparison, but that's a great point. One of the reasons, even before we knew where the character was going to go, one of the reasons I was so happy at booking that role is because I got a chance to tell a pretty complicated storyline with very few scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And for someone like me as an actor, that's a real challenge. They always there's an old saying, it's not the size of the role, it's the actor playing, which is what you do with the size.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it was a tremendous challenge in the great way, because I'm trying to craft this character that is going to have some kind of impact through very little screen time.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get good direction, if you do your work in advance, and if you have tremendous writing, that's the kind of challenge you really look forward to as an actor. So yeah, I think that's a great comparison with Brandon. Yeah,
it is.
Literally, it makes it huge. His death really leads to all sorts of consequences.
For sure. Yeah. For sure. Even down to Michael getting interrogated, like, because granted they weren't living with the mom anymore. But I mean, I like to think, my mom would never just blatantly give me up to the cops if I was into something. But she was like, "Well, they're not living here no more. They killed my man. Michael had my man killed. Yeah, go talk to Mike. That's who you want. Go talk to Mike. I don't know. Yeah. It ain't me. Go talk to him.
Well, and the mom knew what his stepdad did, right? The mom had she just turned the blind eye to him.
I guess to an extent. I don't know. They don't really touch on that.
That's a tremendous question for the actor that played the mom, because I would love to hear what she thought as an actor, because you're making choices while you're building the character. So I would love to hear what she thought as an actor about whether or not her character knew, or if her character knew anything. It'd be interesting.
Because granted, she was on drugs too, Jesse. You know, like it could have been a blind eye to it. It could have been, and maybe my son is telling a lie. Maybe I don't know. I've never thought about her mentality in reference to what was going on. Never thought about it.
Yeah, I got the feeling she
Great
knew.
question, actually.
Yeah, I got the feeling she knew. I don't know.
And I want to ask something to Cyrus. Not cut you off, Jesse. Kind of unrelated. You were on NYPD Blue for a few seasons, right? Or a few episodes, right?
Yeah, I did the last season and a half of that series.
Okay, walk us through that, because it's a classic show, classic show.
I actually think without NYPD Blue, there is no homicide there was.
Well, I mean, no, when you bring up an interesting comparison, because a lot of people like homicide a great deal, but we talked earlier about certain series kind of creating like their own kind of acting, their own method and form. And NYPD Blue obviously was one of those shows that did that as well. I have to say, I had a great time with Stephen Bochco, his son, Jesse. I've worked for him in 5 or 6 different shows. It was fantastic to be able to play a character that was outside of the wire. The reason I get stopped on the street most often is because of NYPD Blue.
Wow.
This character was such a tremendous asshole. Another bad father, which is kind of my thing back then. And I had actually become a father. My wife and I had our first child while I was shooting the first season of NYPD Blue.
Oh, wow. Blessings.
And thank you. And so when I'm going with the last season, which is my second season of NYPD Blue, I'm walking my kid in a stroller down Fifth Avenue in New York, and I can't tell you how many people every week would stop me and say, "Hey, what do you do with that kid?" But it was a tremendous show, it's a tremendous character. We got a chance to work with Dennis Franz and so many other characters. My man Baldwin and Mark Paul Gosselaar. Henry Simmons was an unbelievable acting partner. So we had a lot of fun on that show.
Zach Moore, it's funny that you said Mark Paul Gosselaar, because I was a Saved by the Bell fan. I was a kid with Saved by the Bell.
Really?
And and it was so funny to me that Mark Paul, like when you get older, you realize that Zach was the more quiet, reserved one. Mario Lopez was more the loud one. Like, because on the show, Zach was like the ladies' man. So it was kind of funny that he was kind of quiet and reserved.
Mark Paul was an awesome, not only an awesome guy, but a fantastic actor. He was so good in that role. And a lot of people, had their doubts when he joined the cast, but he did a tremendous job.
And Jesse, speaking of Saved by the Bell, bro, I just found out 2 weeks ago that Screech died. Okay, so I guess I live under a rock.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Thank you, Cyrus. When did he die? What? He had cancer.
He died like 5 years ago.
Right, 2021.
Yeah, wow. 2020. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Condolences. Yeah, I did not know that.
Thank you for sharing that sense of unbeknownst to me energy, Cyrus. Because I was like,
this is the first I've heard. Yeah.
I was like, wait, what?
Rest in peace to you guys. Got to tune into TMZ more, man.
Now, Jesse, good and well.
So my last question for you, Cyrus. Well, first of all, thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the interview as much as we enjoyed it. My last question to you is going to be Michael K. Williams. We've heard so much about him. I don't know if you ever knew him. If you did, do you have any stories about him? And Clay Davis, Isaiah, do you have any? Maybe rest in peace.
Yeah, unfortunately, I did not get a chance to spend much time around Michael K. I would see him on set, but never had any scenes with him. Never got a chance to really hang out before or after shooting. So I didn't know Michael K. personally, but obviously he left an indelible impression with not only Omar, but all the other characters he played throughout the rest of his career. Very talented actor. And I feel like he was kind of a gift that was given to us being the public, to get a chance to see him. And of course, I forget Clay Davis's real name, but we had
Isaiah Whitlock.
Isaiah Whitlock, that's right. Yeah. Isaiah and I had the same agent for a while. And what a tremendous guy. Only met him once, but tremendous actor who knew exactly who he was as an actor and could make literally reading the phone book his own thing. Unlike someone like Morgan Freeman, who is a tremendous actor and has these great vocal abilities. If you gave the phone book to Isaiah Whitlock, it would be completely different.
Yeah.
and he was that good. He knew his strength incredibly well and was so comfortable in his own skin as an actor. A big fan. And I just want to say, Jesse and Leland, thanks for asking us to be a part of this. I'm happy to talk about The Wire to anyone, anywhere, anytime. So thank you for not only your fandom of the show, but for reaching out to so many of us who were a part of that show.
We got an interview with
to a lot of people who haven't had a chance to actually get to know the show. We got it for them. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. We got an interview with Kamal Bostic Smith, who started off The Wire. It's not Boogie's friend. The guy who
he's actually become a friend of the show who's connected us with another interview, Mr. Nakia Diller. And we actually just shot the first episode recap with one of the actors, and it was him. So we got two interviews with him, and we're actually breaking down the first episode. So I say all that to say, when we do season 4, Cyrus, if you're available, if you're busy, we would love to, because you're one of the actors that is actually super tapped into the story and just Wire fandom, it seems like. So when we get to season 4, we'd be glad to have you back on and break down some of your episodes, the actual episodes. That'd be really cool if you have the time.
Or if you could do maybe you could do the recap for us on the episode where you get killed. That would be pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, we'll make it happen. But I got to check out the episode you're talking about. That sounds great, awesome.
Yeah, I got to look at our schedule, Jesse. When are we putting that one out? I think
that's supposed to be our next release.
That's the next release? Okay. Yeah. So, you'll see it probably today, actually. It'll be on our channel probably today.
I'll take a look for it. That sounds fantastic. And again, great job, guys. Congratulations on everything you're doing, and congratulations, continued success. And again, at some point down the road, we can certainly make time for you guys if you need.
Thank you so much, Cyrus. And if anything that you might be working on, film related or business related, anything, if you want us to promote it or give, visibility to it, send it to Jesse. And what I'll do is I'll put it in every long form video. I put all of our interviewers' products and stuff in the description. So if you want people to be able to reach you or hire you or anything you want us to maybe give to the world and send to the world, send it to Jesse, and I'll put it in the description for you.
No worries. Great job, guys. Once again, I really enjoyed it. This was tremendous.
Thank you so much, Cyrus, man. We appreciate it. We look forward to having you back on. Blessings to you, and we look forward to talking to you soon, boss.
That sounds great. You guys stay well.
All right. Have a good one.
Yeah, same.
Thank you. All righty.
Leland, I'll let you. You want shot Donna Adrian Gibson? I love you.
Always. I was waiting. I was going to start the interview off with saying, we love you, Miss Donna. We love you, Miss Debbie.
Leland, you want to do the shout outs for us?
Yeah, I got it. We'll start with Mr. Kamal Smith. He has a YouTube channel. DRAHCIR TV, so you can go check out his YouTube. Julito McCullum, who played Naaman, if you go to his Twitter, x.com/IamJulito, you can get the Wire hoodies. Just DM him, and he's got an album out on Apple Music called 33 Summers. Chris Clanton, he is in the process. I think they are done with the Set It Off play. I could be wrong about that, but I know he's shooting Set It Off with Felicia Snoop Pearson in Baltimore and Georgia. I think they may have just wrapped that up, but you can also go check out his book, The Law to Finessing Me. Maestro Harrell, who played Randy, you can check out his YouTube. And he's got a YouTube, and they do Wire Wednesdays. They stream every Wednesday, so go check out his stuff. Nakia Diller. Go ahead, Jesse.
Also with Chris Clanton, All right, guys. I say the Instagram. I don't have the Instagrams written down, but if you write the name Chris Clanton Instagram on Google, it'll take you to it. Um, I've been hearing the sold out shows to the live performance of Set It Off. I heard it was hysterical. Trey Sheeny went.
Damn.
Felicia's in it from Snoop. Check her out. Check out Lincoln Lawyer. I saw Maestro Harrell there. My boy Maestro had a couple of episodes there. So shout out on the latest season of Lincoln Lawyer. So just wanted to say that real quick. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good, bro. Appreciate that. The kid Diller, who was in season 3 of The Wire, he has an acting masterclass, an acting school you can go to. You can check the link out in our bio below. S&P Rise, Mr. Alonzo Wilson, who worked behind the scenes on The Wire. He has a nonprofit organization. Go to snprise.com. Miss Amanda Johnson, who was assistant costume designer on The Wire. She has her own gallery and boutique in Delray Beach, Florida. Go to amandajohnsonstudio.com to support. You have Trey Shaney, who was Poot, obviously, in The Wire, ShaneyWay.com. And then I never want to mispronounce his last name, Andre Severino. He was the police consultant on We Own This City, and he's got a podcast, a police podcast called the Silverback Podcast. He's actually done it with a few cops. He had John Bernthal on there as well. So phenomenal podcast. And I think that is everybody from our shout out list. So we appreciate all the love. Again, Cyrus, thank you so much for coming on, man. Phenomenal insight, phenomenal interview as a Wire fan. Again, please like, share, subscribe, comment. Today we'll be at about 540 videos on our channel and about 143,000 views total. So we are steadily pushing forward. We are releasing a few new episodes. We've got the next round of the top 10 cold opens that we're going to do. We're going to shoot jacks and release it to you all. We've also got some character analysis stuff that we're working on. We're going to start rolling out that series in the near future. And we'll also be wrapping up We Own This City. By the time this airs, we'll be done with We Own This City. So if you want to tap in with the podcast, please message us. Please hit us on Facebook. If you want to book us for any commercial or voiceover work, please feel free to contact us at wiretappedtruths@gmail.com or contact us at 678-938-5398. We appreciate it. Again, it's been a phenomenal interview. This is Wiretapped Truths signing out, and we appreciate it. Jesse, I'll hit you when we wrap up, bro.